Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's UBNradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay on UBNradio.com.
And welcome. You are tuned in to my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon here at the Universal Broadcasting Network in Sunset Gower Studios, Hollywood, California, and every Thursday and Saturday on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel KCAA, AM 1050, and now FM 106.5. So many ways to get splattered with hope and happiness, because this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. Even if you want it, you're not going to get it. There's no CNN, constantly negative news. Instead, I'm balancing all of the negative news that does come with the media these days, the weapons of mass distraction, with some positive and hopeful and fabulous guests. Like last week, I had Keiko Matsui, Billboard artist and world-renowned keyboard pianist, jazz artist, and peace ambassador, we found out on the show. So if you missed that, please do listen to that. You can get it on YouTube, also at ubnradio.com, also in Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, and kcaaradio.com. So there's plenty of ways to partner with me in balancing out the negative news, as well. A shout out to Keiko. Her concert was unbelievable. A lot of you joined me there. It was truly a magnificent show of how talent and artistry, creativity, love, peace, and joy materialize on stage. I've never seen so many artists in the zone at the same time. So a shout out to Keiko, my new twin sister, as well. A shout out to Pat Prescott, who I haven't seen in a long time, my friend, who's a wonderful host at 94.7 The Wave, and maybe next year I'll invite her here. Hi, Pat. I told her I was gonna say some wonderful things about her name, but it's wonderful having fellow radio hosts out there just sharing and splattering with hope and happiness. All right, and I am going to wish my boss, one of my bosses, Tony Sweet, it's his birthday this week. So here we go. Happy birthday, dear Tony. You're so adorable and wonderful as a boss. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tony. Yes, that is someone who actually started me off in another station, and then after he bribed me or asked me kindly to came over to Universal Broadcasting Studios, and I'm just so blessed and grateful to have him in my life. And for those of you who know him, know he is easy to love because he's loving, lovable, and loved. So a wonderful year of more blessings and peace for you, Tony. All right, and balancing all the talk of war on the air with talk of peace, I wanted to let you know that February the 2nd of next year, a powerful panel is coming on the air with me. Neil Donald Walsh, the best-selling author of Conversations with God, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, also known as my big brother, who's the founder of Agape International Spiritual Center, past guest of mine 3 times, and Bishop Carlton, who was also a past guest last year. 3 really powerful peacemaker and peace promoter men going to talk about peace, obviously, and anything else that's on their mind. So I wanted to make sure I let you know the great news. Neil doesn't do a lot of radio interviews, but I bribed him with this panel and it worked. So February 2nd, I'm very excited about that. As well, next year, New York Times best-selling author for 7 years, his book, The Four Agreements, was on the list. He actually has been a guest of mine early on in my radio career, about 2 years ago. And he's coming on not once but twice, once to talk about the fifth agreement with his son, and then his newest book, The Toltec Way, The Wisdom of the Toltec Way. So please do tune in and stay tuned in. I'm so also happy. Thank you to listeners for increasing my YouTube views to over 38,000 now, which is unbelievable since we got cameras in the studio just a short while ago. So share to you. And it is second week of the month, Tuesday, and Thursday and Saturday. And this is Call-In Tuesday, which means that anyone can sign up with my fabulous co-producer, Jarvis Essex. And because I am Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura, you don't have to wait in line. And they come in, and we are doing that this week. So without further ado, our first caller is Tinyetta from L.A.
Hey, hello.
Hello. And every once in a while, I have my past callers who get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking smog checked to return and check in with me and tell me what's working and what needs a little bit more gas. So, Tinyetta, you were with me, a year ago, was it? Was it about a year ago? Easy year ago? And
Sure.
Remind our listeners who did not listen to that show what we talked about. And before we do that, we got to connect. So feet on the ground, palms up, eyes gently closed, taking a deep breath in through the nose and releasing all the stories and the drama. And another deep breath in. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees, connecting with me through chi, eternal energy. Good. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Connected. And what were we talking about last time? Remind the listeners and me, because I do have...
I spoke to you before about family. You know, I have 4 sons, and they were a bit off kilter, but you reminded me of, you know, the powerful effort that I made and put in with my boys, and you know, just helped me to reaffirm that my purpose as a parent is not thwarted just because the children are now on their path and learning their own lessons.
Correct. Good mom does not come with conditions or it doesn't come with what's going on in their lives. Of course, it's wonderful if wonderful things are happening, but if not wonderful things are happening, it's not your fault. If you did the best that you could with the time that you have and the resources you had, which we affirm that you did, then that's enough, and it is good enough. So that is still true. In fact, one of my past guests, Edwene Gaines, I love her definition of a good mother. A good mother is someone who brought you into this world. So if you gave birth, I was going to put it a little more crudely, but I'm not going to. So if you gave birth and popped your kid out, then you've done your job. Everything else that you do well is just gravy. So in that sense, you're a good mom. I'm a good mom. I did it twice. You did it 4 times. But on top of that, I know that you were more than that, and you did raise them. And this is what we do as parents. We just do the best that we can. The other definition that I've come up with now for good parenting is if you do better, even minutely better than your own parents did, then that is good enough. You don't need to do...
I broken that the other day.
Yes, because we're not going to do it perfectly, and we're not going to fix like generations and generations of dysfunction. You know, our job is to put the fun in dysfunction. So if we just do a little better, I tell my kids all the time, you know, at least I don't blank you, right? That's what my mother did. And so I know I still have a bit of a temper, and I know that it comes out when I don't want it to, but I came from that background. I came from Tao women. Tao women were very strong, and there's benefits to that, but there's consequences to that. And I tell my kids all the time, I know you're going to do better with your daughters than I'm doing with you, but I'm doing better than my parents did with me, and that's our job. It's not blaming them. It's just our job to continue to make it better.
Yeah.
So, good. So, are we talking about your boys?
Oh, no, but I would like to talk about kind of a combination between family and business,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm launching a new podcast soon, and I'm going to do so utilizing, I'll be going home
Okay.
to the East Coast for the first time in nearly 15 years for a family reunion.
Wow.
And I'll be seeing family members that I haven't seen since my early 20s.
Wow.
And I would like to do a remote podcast from there, or at least record conversations with the elders. I really want to gather our stories and begin to retell our stories and help our young people make their ancestors their heroes again.
That's a very, very good idea. Only because I had a project that I don't have time for called the Wisdom Project, which is a similar thing that I do absolutely agree with you that we tend to lose the wisdom, the knowledge transfer, because we don't seem to respect our elders like we used to.
Yeah.
So good for you. All right. So the opportunity is.
The opportunity is to make some truly well-rooted reconnection with family and create an opportunity for all of us to remember and be reminded together. And that word remember, I've been using it quite a bit and saying that, when we remember, we are reinstating our membership with whatever that may be that we need to be reminded of. And in my case, I'm remembering with family that we are Native Americans that married ex-slaves. That's a rich history. That's a rich history. We are Afro-Native Americans.
Okay, so powerful vision that you have. I hear it in your voice. I hear it in your heart, your passion, and it is a compelling vision of what your hope that the family reunion will be for you. And I want you to continue to hold that vision. And at the same time, I want you to balance this, because it's all about balance, remember? You are the star in your life. You are the principal in this play. You are the director of your acting in this play. Let's call the play The Reunion. Now, as you go back there and you have this play, you have to remember that not everybody got their lines. And not everybody's going to necessarily want to take the part that you want to give them. Just to be cognizant of that. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. You'll probably have 80% of the people that will absolutely want to play with you and want this to happen and have the similar goal and similar vision that you have. And those are the ones that you want to spend time with. My guess is 20% of them will probably not want to play. Usually when I do organizational consulting, that's what happens. Managers have 100% people, 80% are usually, in that same direction, and then you've got 20% that are not going to be on board. So I want to just balance you to know that as powerful as your vision is and what you want is to stay with the 80%. Does that make sense?
Okay. You said 20% will not want to, or 80% will not?
No. 80% will. Well, actually, the way that I do this model is you have 20% on top, Okay, so those are your cheerleaders that in any 100 people, this is a model that I developed I've been doing organizational psychology for 27 years, I think, but I'm ageless, so don't count and see when I graduated. But so in 100 people, you've got your cheerleaders, which are your top 20. And then you've got your not so cheerleaders in your bottom 20. And then in the middle, you have your 60%. So you're probably going to have 20% of the people that are going to be at the reunion who are absolutely on board with this and think it's a fabulous idea and want to do it. Do you have that 20? Have you already talked about the 20 with people?
I'm beginning to.
You're
I'll just say
beginning
it that
to.
way.
Okay. And so how many people have you talked to?
Two.
Two?
Three.
And, three?
My mother, cousin, yes.
Okay. And
I think even four.
of the three of them, did you get cheerleader? I don't think this is a good idea, or on the fence. Give me the numbers.
All of them said cheerleader. All of them thought it was a great idea.
Perfect.
Four of them are cheerleaders.
Perfect. Yeah. So they're in your cheerleader group. And my guess is there's going to be some that aren't sure, and then there's going to be some that say this is not a good idea. Okay? So your job is to pave the road before you go there with your cheerleaders.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what was your question with respect to this project?
You're answering it right now.
Phew. I just, you know, when you have that point where it's like, wait a minute, who's asking the question and who's answering? Do I have enough information to answer the question? So thanks for saving my butt on that one. Okay, good. So I answered your question, and now
pave the road you said there are three types.
Yes.
You said there are three types. Pave the road with the cheerleaders, and then the ones that are on the fence
will go
are the
where
ones
your
that
energy
the cheerleaders
is.
are.
Correct.
Will probably help to fizz out for me.
Correct.
Or with me.
Yeah, there's a Japanese term called kaizen. So you're pre-paving the road with yeses so that those who aren't sure will go in the direction that you're spending. The temptation is when you find someone who doesn't disagree with you is to try to change their mind or to try to get people who are with you to change their mind. This is what happens in organizations that gets a lot of companies in trouble because managers or leaders spend too much time with those who really will, that's their role, is not to be with the program, to give it contrast. So I always advise my leaders to focus on the top 20 because then the 60 will go where the energy is instead of going to where you're trying to be punitive or trying to get them to be something different. And in the bottom 20 or the negative 20, there's always 2%er. There's always one person in every organization or every family, and I bet you can pick them out, who no matter what it is, they're not going to be positive about it. In organizations, if you give them money, they still wouldn't be happy. If you gave them a raise, they still would say it's not enough. In the mafia, they'd be dead. That's that 2%er. So you what you want to do is when you find them, love them where they are and focus on your positives. Okay. Now, the other thing about family reunion, I'm going to put the moose on the table about family reunions. They're kind of like large going home for the holidays. So going home for the holidays on steroids, especially if you're single, especially if you're still in the same job that you've told them for the last 5 years you hate, or you're still in that same relationship that you don't like, or you still don't have the kids that everybody keeps asking you, when are you going to have them? So when there is that reunion or back for the holidays, perfect timing, the temptation to brace yourself for those questions, or I'm really not as successful as I hope to be, or I'm really not doing what I'd hoped to, or pre-paving the judgment that you think you're going to get from your relatives, or that you think you're going to get from certain people that you haven't seen in a long time. And of course, you want to go, oh well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and everybody going, oh wow, look at this, look at that. my advice that I give that I don't always take is one, drop out of MSU University. Making shiitake up about how you think people are judging you is one of the worst things that you can walk around with, because most of the time people aren't. And if they are, they're in that 20% and you really don't care anyways. Just assume that everybody loves you wherever you are. And I've met you. I know that that's true for 80% of the people. So that means it's your own, So when people say, so what are you doing? I want you to prepave, and I want you to sit down and come from that real loving place within yourself and say, instead of, well, I haven't done this yet, I'm trying to do this, or I tried this and it didn't work out, or I had this relationship and that didn't work. Instead of doing that, I want you to sit down. Actually, let's do it right now. Just sit down with me and take a deep breath. And tell me something wonderful that has happened in the 15 years to you in your life that you would like them to know. I can think of one right now.
Okay, help.
I have...
It wasn't that I couldn't think of anything. It was just so many things popped up.
Oh, that's good. Well, then I don't want to make it up. So what's the strongest one that's popped up?
Well, the first one was just that I finished raising my children. I'm
Good.
an empty nester now.
Yeah. So
and for me, that represents a new horizon.
Yes.
With everything else.
Okay. So that's your first line. It's so good to see you. You look exactly the same. That's a drive-by compliment. And so what have you been doing? Well, I have successfully raised 4 strapping, beautiful inside and out young men. No matter where they are. No matter where they are. Right?
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one. That's number one. So what are you doing for work? So the answer is, I've actually turned my work into play. And I'm having a great time helping people with various life opportunities, like sex and infertility. And that's it. So you've done. So you have 2 things. No matter what else there was that you are criticizing yourself that you haven't done. You just highlight those.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So when you do that, and the third thing is, I've had a beautiful realization about the incredible wisdom that comes from my heritage. And because of that, I'd love to spend some time during the reunion interviewing you about your life experience, your valuable life experiences. How's that for a segue?
That's awesome.
Okay. So there's your script. Now, I'm not making anything up, am I? I'm not going to MSU University, am I?
Not at all.
Okay. So that is, and any of my listeners going home for the holidays and dreading that question that comes from that busybody auntie every single year about why aren't you married yet, or why are you still working at that, or why didn't you go to school, or what, all of those, you don't even need that critic to ask you the questions during the holidays. You hear it in your head. You've internalized the critic. And so many of my clients and my listeners hate going home for the holidays, but they have to go because it's just expected and it's just too much of a problem not going. I want this year for you to be different. I would love that you take the advice that I just gave to Tanyetta that I don't always use, but that is to make this season very different. Make your reunion very different than the normal, trying to hide your own or to pacify that critic in your own head. Make peace with that critic before you go. Make peace with those voices that are not telling the truth. They're only telling some of the things that have happened to you. They're not telling the rest of the story. And the only author, as Don Miguel so beautifully said it last week at Agape, you're the author of your life. You're the author. You're not a victim to what your critic says about your life. You make up the story of your life. You see what has happened and transpired in your life. You can either see it as a tragedy or you can see it as some springboard that brought you an expansion that you could not have had any other way.
Yes.
And if you can make peace with that before you go, then your experience and what you're bringing is going to be so vastly different than coming from that, oh God, I know she's going to ask me this, or, oh, I know I'm going to have to, and that just ruins every holidays. No wonder people get the holiday blues. They've got all this stuff going on in their head.
In my case, Dr. Meredith, I'm one of the reasons why I can call myself a happy, fortunate person is that I've been doing all of that work in the 30 years that I've been in California.
Good.
And so the last 15 years, easily I have been resolving, clearing, making a clearance for what I'm about to go home and experience with my family.
Right. Good.
The calls that I've done with you have not been for naught.
Oh, yay!
it's been in preparation of this, and the counseling sessions that I've had, and
Good.
Yes,
I'm very,
yes,
very
yes.
glad. I'm very glad. Very grateful. It's my blessing. Absolutely. So that is the prescription. That is where you're going to go. And then I'm going to put another moose on the table. For people who move away, there is maybe that I'm glad I got away syndrome. And so we have a little bit of judgment when it comes to people that didn't move away. And so if you can also hold the space for people to, and I say this for myself because, I'm a Leo in 6 planets, and it's much easier for me to talk than it is for me to listen. So if we start with, what were the major milestones that you went through in the 30 years since I've seen you? That might be one of the questions that you ask in your interviews, whether you use them or not. It is. One of my guests told me that was a great question, and I said thank you, because it is a great question. I didn't make it up. I'm sure I learned it from somebody. But to see your life and review, and as you said, remember important events, happy and sad, that created who you are, is a beautiful exercise. It really does help you see life beyond what we're traditionally as, we haven't really been successful or made a life until we are, have the house and the car and the kids and the successful business and all of that. That old way of defining success and beauty and wonder and happiness in life is going away. What is replacing it, and I'm really glad to be part of that movement, is success and happiness and joy and hope and love and expansion and meaning and meaningful relationships and finding your unique talent, gift, and ability and sharing that with the 7.3 billion people on the planet. That's what life is. That's the true meaning. So what you're doing is capturing that. And you're going to have a great time doing it. I see it there. Thank you so much, Tanyetta, for coming back on and reconnecting and appreciating what I've been able to channel and get to you. And I'm so grateful for that. Peace and blessings, and have a fabulous, fabulous time.
Thank you, my dear.
All right, take care.
And
one more thing.
My birthday was Sunday.
Oh, happy birthday, dear Tanyetta. Happy birthday to you.
That's what I was hoping for.
Oh,
thank you.
Well, that's the second time I've gotten to do that in one episode.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.
And speaking of singing, this will be a good ad. I actually am going to be singing on the air. We're going to have a beautiful holiday music episode, and I've invited spectacular singer plus many other things more, Charles Holt, to come for my holiday sing-along on December the 22nd, I believe, for the Tuesday show for that week. So we're going to pre-record it because I get to be with my mom in Vancouver for over the holidays, but we're going to be singing on the air. It will be broadcast live, and don't miss that. All right, and it's that time of the show where we thank our sponsors, and here we go. I'll be back in 2 and 2. If you think that you don't have the money to start your own business, then I have fantastic news. Now you can own a business that has proven to be a phenomenal success all around the country with very little upfront investment. We're talking Selfie Station. Selfie Station is a portable touchscreen photo booth that people and businesses book for weddings, corporate functions, trade shows, proms, promotional events, parties, and more. Selfie Station captures lifelong memories that can be emailed, texted, printed, personalized, and even uploaded to social media. You won't believe how much people will pay you to make your business the life of their party. It is the easiest income you'll ever earn and pays for itself in no time at all. You can start your own business right now. Let Selfie Station be the picture taker, icebreaker, and your moneymaker. And now, as a special introductory offer, get $500 off. Yes, that's $500 off the professional package. $500 off. Just go to selfiestationpodcast.com. Type in my show, Dr. Marissa, 1R, 2 S's, so I can get credit, please. Selfiestationpodcast.com. And my show, Dr. Marissa, supporting the peace work that I do around the planet. Peace in and peace out. All righty. And a little promo and congratulations I heard from last month's caller who took my advice and actually told me she got this amazing, incredible job that was a direct result of following my advice that she got on this call-in show. So just a reminder, if you would like your free balance tune-up with me, just contact Jarvis Essex. He's on my Facebook, at Jarvis Essex, and message him, and he'll put you on the list for our monthly second week of the month call-in episode. And our second caller is Robert from Memphis, Tennessee. Please welcome to the studio, Robert.
How you doing?
I am happy, thank you, Robert. And if you would just connect with me for a moment, feet on the ground, palms up, eyes gently closed, taking a deep breath in through your nose and releasing through your mouth. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. And in again through the nose, connecting with me through chi, eternal energy, and releasing all the stories and the drama. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. All right, we are connected. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I would like you to rate how your life is going in the area of relationships. 1 being not so good, 10 being fabulous. How would you rate yourself with relationships?
About an 8.
Okay, great. Great number. Lucky number in Chinese, by the way. It stands for good fortune. So congratulations. And now in the area of job and career, how would you rate yourself?
About the same, 8 or 9.
8 or 9. All right. And health and well-being, last category. Same scale?
That's the last category.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, 7, 8.
7, 8. All right. So you've got a pretty much an equal spread there. So what would you like to talk about today? There's
Some out of those 3.
or anything else that you would like to talk about?
Family issues.
Okay, so that's in the area of relationships. So let's what number would you say that is right now?
Family, I would say about a 4.
Okay, good. That's what we were getting at. I knew there was something in there. Thanks for letting me probe. So what would it take to get that 4 up? What's going on?
Well, if I could say what it would take to get that up, I just wish that family wouldn't be handled in a business manner. And what I mean by that, it seems to just be a total family disconnect. It seems like everything is just handled nonchalantly.
Okay. I need a little more detail than that. So give me an
Okay.
example of it's not being handled. So
Well, let me just say as far as like where the family values are to me as a whole.
Okay.
As I've gotten older in life, too many times we have a family member to die, and people are giving you every reason why you shouldn't go. Like your job, you can't afford to take off, or it's too far. In other words, you'll have to make a sacrifice for that. And I thought that's what family is about, making sacrifices, more so than you would the average person. That's what I mean by, family being in an area that kind of needs help, in my opinion, right now.
Right. Okay. So first of all, taking a deep breath, I'm sorry to hear that someone is transitioning for you and that seems like there's going to be a loss. Is someone dying right now?
Well, I don't want to say they're dying, but yeah, there's someone that's an elderly member who is not doing good health-wise.
Okay.
And I just feel like a lot of the attitude is not where it should be, in my opinion.
Okay. So you would hope that more family members would give some physical being support to that family member who is who's ailing in health.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
Okay. And are you in the same physical vicinity as that person?
Yes.
Okay. So you have walked your talk, and you are trying to be of full support to. Can I ask who it is?
It's my father.
Okay, it's your dad. So this is a very close relationship.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
2.
You have 2 siblings, and brothers, sisters?
Yes.
One brother, one
Older
sister.
brother, younger sister.
Okay, and you're the middle child.
Mm-hmm.
You're following the psychology. The psychology says that the middle child is usually the peacemaker and the consultant and the glue.
I would like to be, but
Well, it sounds like you're trying to be. So trying to be and being are 2 different things, but in my book, when you try, that's all you can do. Because darling, you can want all you want, but you cannot control other people's actions or their desires or where they are. And that, if you can get to the point where you accept that, you will be happier more of the time.
yes.
Yeah. Did I just switch something there? Did I push a button?
Well, I just thought those thoughts a couple of days ago, because I just had to realize I know that he's not going to have the same attitude about it that I would like for him to have.
Correct.
Okay, so it's just when you see someone like I get the feeling that it's like he's kind of giving up. He went through a major surgery, and it's been over a month now, and his efforts of trying to do his own physical therapy and things like that, he's taken a senior position even in that. So it's unfortunate, but whenever he feels better, then he kind of reverts back to some of his definite stubborn ways and things like that. When he's feeling bad, then he's more humble and, giving and things like that. So I know when he's sick by his attitude.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so that's the challenging part in this, is that I just feel like he doesn't have to be as bad off as he is if he had a better attitude about it and would try a little harder, just a little harder, because I'm kind of seeing no effort at all sometimes.
Right. Okay. Ready? Take a deep breath.
Okay.
He is the principal actor in his own life. And he is making decisions that he's going to have the benefits and the consequences of. And you are a wonderful son. You love your dad. That's very obvious. And he loves you. And the fact that he's not following your advice is not personal. He is not doing this to make you angry or to spite you or to, to rebel against you. He's doing this because he is the principal actor in his own life, and he's making decisions that he has consequences and benefits for of his own volition. And unfortunately, you're not the boss of him. And you can, as you have, I'm sure, made the case for why he should do something differently. Have you?
Yes.
I'm guessing more than once. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Is it helping?
Well,
Is it
that's
helping?
hard to tell.
It's helping a tiny little bit, and then it reverts. That's what happens when you push change.
Yeah.
When you try to control or orchestrate change, there will be a little up, and then there will be a revert back, because it's not made by that person. It's an external force. So if you want real change, it has to come from within, and you're not the boss of his within. I wish you were. Honey, I wish I was the boss of all of my kids' internal change. Let me tell you. Then the house would not look like something vomited clothes all over the place all the time. But I cannot. I can only provide a vision for what it might be like for them, and that's all I can do. So you're being unhappy with him, especially now. Is that your choice in how you want the relationship to be?
Well, if you knew his personality, I think you would understand a little bit. But
Oh, I think I understand his personality.
yeah, he's always a dominant person, and actually, there's a lot of things that's been exposed through this ordeal. Because it's not his first time around with health issues. And so just overall, he's not where I am on my my attitude about health, my own health.
Right. And
so the hardest thing about all this is that him being a dominant person and always having a lot of advice and stuff and push and motivation, it just kind of hurts when, I think I'm trying to help him out and he's like rejecting it. Because that's what it feels like, just rejection, you know.
And you're taking it personally, and I want you to stop that. His rejection has nothing to do with you. His rejection is his rejection, and you just love him exactly as he is. You love him in his rejecting, stubborn ways, but it's not personal. You just try to stay in the love. Try to stay in the acceptance, because it's about you too. It's about you and how happy you are where you are. If you can accept where you are. So as I've learned from Abraham, one of my teachers, on every stick there's a side that is what you want and a side of what you don't want. And every time you push and grab the side that you don't want, you're not in a good place. It doesn't feel good. And in every moment you have a choice to choose the other side, which actually does feel good. So in every moment that you spend with your dad, you can choose to talk about what he's not doing, what he should be doing, what he knows better that he should be doing, that if he wants to get better, that he should be doing. Does this sound familiar?
Well, in the past, but that's something I've matured past that point.
Good. Okay. So
that's why. What we're dealing with now, I want to ask you another way to handle this.
All right.
What I try to do is just be around him and just enjoy it, not make any suggestions and stuff, because I found that I used to kind of get
you're already on step 2.
Different emotions when I try to suggest something. Like you said, that's kind of pushing.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I don't know if you know what it's like being around an elderly person that has kind of given up. Like, you know, I know that he's depressed, and I'm trying to help him out of that. Yeah. And it's like, you know, I can't do anything. So what I was trying to ask you for your advice on is, what do I have the right attitude when I keep myself from trying at all because of the fear of being, you know, it's not about me being rejected, but the fear of him not wanting to help himself.
That is not. That's very bluntly, with the moose on the table. What he does is none of your business. I know that sounds horrible. I know you love him. I know you want him to do something different, but he is making choices based on where he is. Now, at the same time, to balance that out, guess what you can do?
What is that?
I'm sure he has favorite TV shows. I'm sure he has favorite comics. I'm sure he has favorite everything there, okay?
No, I'm laughing because he has none of that. In the profession that he was in, being a leader, okay, he was a person who was all work and just recently retired. Okay. And that's what we could never get him to do, was relax and do any fun thing. That's what's making it totally difficult right now.
Okay. So there's an organization called SCORE that takes retired workaholic people and puts them to work, and they mentor younger people. The other thing I would like you to do is start a book with him, and every time you go and visit, you write a chapter on what he's learned from his professional life that he would like to share.
Okay.
And that will give him some, he's got wisdom. This is related to the first call. You know, what wisdom does he have as an elder to leave? Because we know he's going to die. We all die, and he's nearing the end of his life. And he has a lot to give. And it's not a sad thing, because I believe that he's going to a place where he's not going to feel all of the ailments that happen when your body starts falling apart, which is no fun at all. And of course he's depressed because it's no fun at all. Like, he's supposed to be depressed. I mean, it's not fun to lose things in your body that you had control over before. But you don't have to marinate in the depression. One, we're going to celebrate his transition. He'll be with my dad, wherever that is. And another, we're all eternal beings. We don't die. We just leave our bodies. In the meantime, while he still has the body, what are the things that he can do, especially with his mind? His stubbornness is an asset. So what does he remember stubbornly? Or Dad, what were the situations at work that frustrated you the most? And what would you have done differently? And write a book according to him on how businesses should be run on the planet.
Right. Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different approach, because I felt like I was out of options, and just have to sit there and watch. Because I said,
Nope, you
My
don't
thing
have to
is
watch.
that I just wanted him to be a little more comfortable in his
Yes.
older age,
And-
as opposed to having to suffer
And-
when he's causing it on himself. So
Yes,
that's all.
he
That's
is.
hard to watch.
Yes, and I want you to stop seeing that. You're seeing him suffer because you believe he's suffering. And there are moments when he is suffering, but I'm guessing that there are moments when he's not. And I want you to focus on those. Because if you have that mindset that he's suffering, then all you will see is evidence of suffering. So I want you to change that. We're not going to even say he's suffering. He's not suffering.
Okay.
Okay? He is having the consequences of some of his choices. And some of them may look like suffering, but that's his business, right? So your goal is for the remainder of his life to get out of his head all of the wisdom that he has experienced and learned and now has a gift to give you for the rest of his life. It's got nothing to do with your brother and sister. It's great that you're there. It has nothing to do with them. This is for you. This is a gift for you. You're not doing anything for him. This is for you. And as you do this for you, watch things change. Yes?
Okay. Well, we'll do. So this SCORE organization,
SCORE
they're
organization.
nationwide?
They are.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your dad with me. Please give him my love.
Okay, I will.
And peace and blessings and just all you have the wisdom in you. Just take care of you first. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Peace and blessings
All
to
right.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right. And we have a very quick balance bar. 21-day fast from complaining. Balance tip day 8. It's drive-by compliment day. You will feel better when you compliment versus complain about someone. So see if you can find 8 nice things to say about people today. And if you can't, it's time for you to lose some negative weight. And if you own an Android, then you can do so and get my 21-day Fast from Complaining with Dr. Marissa app just now out. Thanksgiving, the Apple users will have to wait for a change, but that will be coming out soon as well. Only 99 cents, and you do support my piecework, as all proceeds from all of my Balanced Marketplace products and services go towards my piecework around the world, including this show. So please do that. That's your personal invite and a sneak peek for the special holiday guests I have on the air with me. Sexual Healing with Dr. Marissa at the end of the month. We're having author Amy Raup, author of Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. It'll be the first show I've talked about infertility, or as Amy calls it, fertility challenges, as it's not a condemnation. On December 28th, tune in for that. Then a real Christmas treat. I explained to you earlier, Charles Holt will be coming on December the 23rd. And then next week, we're blessed to have a very special guest, Brian Tom, the founder of Blind Start of America, a man who uses his lack of sight to give insight to the world about blindness and prove that the only handicap in life is a bad attitude. That's from my friend Larry, who's on the other side. So keep it tuned to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
Take away the part of me that wants to stay. It's all I want, to hear my life and sing along. For without it, there's no laughter, no tears, lonely days after, no memories for the way things used to be. Many a friend has stopped along the way. no strangers.